One of the most insidious things about the dating and relationship advice you'll find on social media is no matter how toxic the advice is, at a certain level, it's true. It just depends on what level you're coming from. Let me explain. A lot of the advice we hear online nowadays is oriented around people playing a zero-sum game where one party wins, one party loses, right? It's textbook manipulation. You're told to keep your cards close to your chest. You're told to engage in hot and cold behavior. You're told that the relationship will only work if the woman loves the man more or the man loves the woman more, right? But the truth is, these things are all effective. In other words, if you engage in these strategies, you will get some positive outcome. It may not last over the long term, but you will likely get the effect that you're looking for. Now, the problem with most of these strategies that people won't tell you is they only work in the short term, right? In other words, if you engage in these behaviors, you can never rest. You have to keep engaging in those behaviors. The moment you let your guard down, you lose any kind of positive benefit that you gain. But the worst part of advice like this is a lot of people think that it is the only effective way to get the outcome that they're looking for. In other words, they're unaware of the fact that they can move up to a higher paradigm where engaging in the previous behaviors are not necessary. The analogy I've given in my lives is, let's say you live in a bad neighborhood. Now, there's certain rules of engagement that you have to abide by if you want to navigate that terrain effectively, right? So maybe that means you don't wear any flashy jewelry in attempts to not attract the wrong attention. Maybe you get some sort of alarm system for your house so that you're protected. Maybe you have to purchase a firearm. Maybe you want to, by default, distrust the people around you, right? Engaging in those rules makes it so you can be in that environment with little to no issues, right? So when it comes to dating and relationships, a lot of the advice that is given is advice for a bad environment. Like, you learn the rules as to how to navigate this bad environment so that you don't pay the price. But to continue with the analogy, what people don't consider is you could always move to a better neighborhood. And when you move to the better neighborhood, you don't have to abide by any of those previous rules. They're just not necessary in this environment. I know the response to that may be that all of dating is a bad environment, like it's really ghetto out here. And there's truth to that, but there's always someone having a better time than you, okay? No matter how bad things seem, there's someone out there having their way. It's just not you. So how do we get you there? One way is we move you up to that higher paradigm. And when you make that type of shift, you have to lean into patience, meaning you have to be patient enough until you can run into someone who is also playing the same type of game that you're playing. Then you can partner up, have a good relationship, yada, yada. Ultimately, the point that I'm making is this: do not be seduced by low vibrational thinking and strategies. The game that you play dictates the prize that you win. And a lot of you all are on the road to winning piss poor prizes. Just food for thought.